I've been in survival mode for a lot of years. And the desire to no longer survive and live, maybe no, it's progressive. It's progressive. Because I think I've always been aware of, I don't know what to call it, this entity I am, this vessel of what I believe in. I've always been aware of who I am or who I desire to be. It was more so when you get to a certain age, it's like, I need to stop playing. And I don't think it's really an age thing. I don't think it's an age thing. I just think it's an awareness thing. How tapped in are you to yourself?
This Side of Jersey podcast, the number one podcast in the world.
Stamped, man. It's the gang. We back.
I love this damn thing. I love this. I am one of your amazing hosts. My name is Steven. I go by Ugly Steven on Instagram.
I Robinson 03 _ all platforms.
And behind the camera, we have Vintage Sense 2 _ and OG _Bs _. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe at TSOJ Podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure to follow and download at TSOJ Podcast. Now, we have a very special guest, an intellect, I might say. But before we get into that, we got to get into our layup lines. Now, for those who do not know, layup lines is a segment where we like to get our guests loose. We like to ask them a bunch of this or that questions, just so they get a little loose, right? Yeah, get the juices flowing. That's all. So, can we get 24 on the shot clock?
We ready, man. Let's get it.
Contestant, are we ready?
Barely. Let's go.
Barely. Let's go. All right, tell me when to go.
Let's get it.
Making the shirt or making the design?
Making the shirt.
First to arrive or last to leave?
First to arrive.
Rick Ross or Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne.
1990s rap or early 2000s rap?
2000s.
Winter trip to Paris or summer trip to Mexico?
Mexico.
Leave the function early or arrive at the function early?
I'm leaving early.
The blueprint or the Illmatic?
The blueprint.
Okay, documentary or limited series?
Documentary.
Not bad. I only had one left in the clip.
That's good.
It was good. Not bad.
That Lil
Not
Wayne
bad. I fucked you up on that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That Lil Wayne fucked me up.
Yes, sir. Listen, man. Our next guest, we are very excited to share with. Such a personality, such a kind heart, such a hard worker, and a community name, man. Well known and respected around the community, man. She is an entrepreneur. She is an investor. Ladies and gentlemen, Rave is here. How you feeling, beloved?
I feel amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad.
I have nothing to complain about.
I'm glad. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Indeed, man. We probably should have started recording the cameras early. All the conversations.
Yeah.
I was gonna text you and be like, "Yo, start rolling from the moment I walk in."
Very good substance.
You should have did
for
that
sure. Sure.
I don't think we have the firepower yet or the equipment though. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm straight. My headphones fell wet.
It's okay. We did kind of rush into this. I don't think we took a deep breath before
Let's take one down. Let's take one down.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He was gonna keep
It is what it is, bro. This is raw content.
There we go.
Listen, man.
We bet.
I'm gonna be honest. Part of why I wanted to book this interview, is because, like I told you before, you are a person who, when you tweet, I pay very close attention, right? Because, and I think I explained it perfectly, right? When you tweet, it's either going to be funny, it's going to be smart, like it's going to teach, it's like educational in some sense, or it's just a real nigga like thought, or like, you know what I'm saying, something you can relate to. You feel what I'm saying? Like every time you tweet, it's going to be one of those things, bro. Do you put thought into your Twitter presence?
No, and I should put more
you
into
should.
it.
You should market it
really
somehow.
Should.
Yeah. You should really market it.
Because I really like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel laborious.
Yeah.
And I think that might be why I don't put so much work into it, because I put so much work into everything else. It's like I want to have fun too on the internet.
You don't want to turn into a job or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do my little 1-2 as far as promoting like the t-shirts and things like that. But I don't take it too serious. Like, yeah, let me hurry up and monetize this, because I really like it. And I don't want to monetize everything.
Word.
Yeah.
That's a respectable approach to have.
Yeah.
I be trying to market the shit out that shit. I was like, oh, y'all niggas laughing, huh?
Yeah.
You feel me?
And see, I'm like that with everything. And that supports my point of why I haven't. But as I'm taking like this month off from Twitter, I've had that thought, like, let me just start another one with just the t-shirt brand or whatever. Yeah. But I'm like, that's another thing to manage. I
think when you're ready, you can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would definitely subscribe to that.
I think once I find like a system, honestly, like if I could find somebody on Fiverr to send shit to like weekly and they put it together, I might go that approach, because once it feels laborious, I'm annoyed.
Is that how that works?
A lot of times, yeah.
You can like go on Fiverr and get someone to like run your social media?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. That
is very interesting.
Yeah, I've had people on Fiverr like run my Etsy before.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just like making a blueprint for people. This is what I need. This is the colors. This is, the concept I'm going for. Mock-ups, things like that. And they do their thing. SEO, the posts and things like that.
Interesting. Put that in the back pocket. Yeah, definitely. See, this is on me when I say the gems, man. Listen, I want to talk about your business, because it is very impressive what you are doing. Can we start with the name? Can we start with what the name is inspired by?
Resilient Prince.
Yeah.
So, I guess digging a little deeper, I've always, since high school, like been making t-shirts. That was what I was known for, just being creative. So, I started making t-shirts with like the kind of Moschine. Moschine was honestly my inspiration for creativity as far as fabric is concerned. The paint on the fabric, always been in love with it. So it started there. But at this age, I'm 18, 19. I'm in it. I'm out of it. I'm in it. I'm out of it. Time is going by. Time to get jobs, time to get a house, time to make time for love and really life. And it's always been something that I pick back up, making t-shirts. No matter how many times I drop it, I pick it back up. So the name of it is Resilient Prince, with a play on resilience. So that's what it is. Yeah.
I was always wondering that too. Tough. I like that.
What it is, yeah.
So the fact that you were picking it back up consistently kind of like set off something in your head that you knew that this was kind of like
because it's like, why do I keep going back to this?
Indeed.
And my main personality trait is usually when I'm done with something, I'm done. I'm not a person to just keep doing the same thing over and over if it's not working.
Why do you feel you fall off of it? Like when you go through lapses, is it because it's getting tedious, or do you feel like life is just getting in the way?
I think that's one, like life getting in the way. Okay. Whereas though I didn't have the mental fortitude to be like, things happen, and I have that now in entrepreneurship, where I'm realizing 1 week you might be good, another week you're not. So in the past, it's not recognizing that is something that happens within this business. Right. Some weeks you on, some you off. So now that I'm, 30, I'm doing it. I have systems. I have the money to buy equipment, things like that. I can fix certain mistakes. Right. I'm like, I'm in it. There's nothing in my way right now. Yeah.
I love that mentality. So in doing this, are you more attached to the designing of things, or are you more attached to like the actual printing and just like kind of like running it? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I take joy in it. Maybe because it's solo work. Like once I have my zone, I'm in my zone, and it cannot be interrupted by another person. And maybe that's not the best mentality to have, because I do have intentions on like hiring people to do certain things. But I just love I like being fluid in what I do with no disturbances. So like when things do go wrong, let's say a printer goes down or something like that, it gets in my way, but I'm on some, all right, we got to get it fixed. Like, that's it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm figuring out how to fix things. I'm figuring out, I can buy things, but I'm also studying business. And I'm like, you can't take these certain losses only but so many times. You can take these certain losses only but so many times. So I would say now I'm focusing on structuring the business. to the point it's sustainable without those interruptions. But that's why I like being inside of it, because I can see what's going to go wrong. So in the future, when I do have other people in these positions doing what I'm doing, I already know what to do.
Do you feel that it kind of alleviates like a creative responsibility of like versus you designing? You know what I mean? Like it gives you kind of the you can kind of just focus on running a well-oiled machine rather than coming up with designs. You know what I mean?
So what I do is print shirts for people. So I'm not always in designer mode. Most people, if you come to me, you have something already made and you want to put it on this fabric, these shorts, this shirt, whatever. As far as me designing, I'll do it for certain people that need that. Like they'll tell me their concept, things like that. We could talk about the other part later as far as how I'm getting these designs done, because it's not always me. You get what I'm saying? You telling me a concept, my job is to formulate and make your thoughts make sense. So now I am putting pieces together. Sometimes I may design it if I feel like I can, or, this is something I have a vision for. But other times I'm reaching out to other designers. Listen, can you do this? And we work collaboratively. Yeah.
So talk about that, working collaboratively. Is that as beautiful as it sounds?
Sometimes I like playing the middleman. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like playing the middleman.
What does that look like? You playing the middleman?
The middleman is me reaching out to other designers, me outsourcing the shirts. My main job is to give people the best quality at a price that makes sense for all of us. Once things start getting too expensive, I do tell people, listen, the price of your shirt may change because my vendor now has to change their price. So I would say as far as working collaboratively, it's fun because I'm a people person. I am. I like coming up with solutions. I would say in t-shirt printing, that might be the foundation of why I like printing t-shirts more than designing. I love finding solutions to things. Like, I get off to that. Let me put this. These people mesh well together. They might be able to work together. I've done that countless times with other people, and, it usually works out.
I feel like that's very on par to your personality because you are very community driven.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're just funneling, like you're creating an economy of like creative people within the community that you're connecting them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's like on par to just like the person I feel like you are. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's very valid. Yeah.
What's your definition of success? Like, explain that to us.
My definition of success, I have this written down, and I hope I remember it.
That's tough.
Because I visioned, like, myself talking to Oprah. Like, that sounds
tough.
so weird.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
It sounds
I
weird
fuck with
coming
it.
out of my mouth,
No, it don't.
I have it written down. Hopefully I remember most of it. But my definition of success is finding something that brings you joy, that supplies the necessities to the lifestyle you desire. If you don't desire a certain lifestyle, then you don't do certain things. You have to let your habits match the success you're trying to reach to. So to add on that, my definition of success is just, that thing that just make your heart go. That thing that just make your heart go and also feeds you. That also feeds you, because we're not going to ignore that. No matter how spiritual anyone is, do not ignore, get the bag. Like, period. Get the bag.
That's just a fact. I think no matter what you do in this life, especially if you're in America, you need money. So, yeah that's got to be something that's at the forefront. I do hear that.
I'm literally teaching my kids right now about, like, communism versus democracy. Mm-hmm. And, like, a lot of, like, kind of, like, underlying, like, similar things. And they was like voting for communism. It was like, yeah, I'm like, y'all not, either I'm not teaching it right, or like, I'm like, y'all niggas don't want communism, bro. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, we kind of got into like the whole capitalist nature of just like, getting after it. You know what I'm saying? So talk a little bit about where you're from. Let's backtrack a little bit to where you are from. Paint us the picture. Who created this hardworking person?
Okay. So I am originally from Camden.
Shout out Camden.
Moved to Pennsauken in 7th grade when I moved with my aunt. From there, I started going to Pennsauken school. So I went up to Camden schools up until 6th grade and then transferred to Pennsauken. Kind of different, you know, without touching too much on, you know, mom situation, dad situation, life situation. When I was living in Pennsauken, I seen a different side. Like, everyone's not angry here. Like, you know, I was able to be a little more free. Like, of course, you're dealing with the shit that's at home, but it's like, I'm excited to go to school. I'm excited to go to school, got friends. I never really, like, what do you call it? I wouldn't call it blend. Maybe blend. I never really blended with the kids in Camden for some reason. Even in Pennsauken, I don't really blend with people. And now that I'm older, I can recognize, oh, you were just doing that because of who you were around and things like that. But, yeah, so in Pennsauken, 18, moved out of Pennsauken back to Camden to be with my aunt. Had hella space and freedom there, and that's where I started making T-shirts in her basement. Always been interested in it, even when I was in high school. Again, that was just the paint. I'm just taking the squiggly paint and painting T-shirts, but now I have space to experiment with things. So it started there, and that gave me the drive to get my own space. So then I moved out, printing T-shirts again. But at this time, I'm hyped. I got my own shit now. Like, I'm not living in somebody's crib. I got my own shit now. So I put T-shirts down. Completely forgot the mission because I got my own space. I got money. You know, girls, I'm not thinking about no T-shirts. I'm going to work and I'm, you know, doing my life. Was doing that, moved out when I was 19. Haven't been home since, I should say that. And it just was, life was doing what it did. Different jobs, you know. And I just was like, I'm tired of this redundancy. This is redundant. I'm never going to like where I work unless I'm doing something that I like doing. I didn't have that job until I worked at FedEx. And it was like I was delivering packages, so I'm by myself. I'm solving problems. Like, my mission is to make sure you get your fucking package. Like, I know FedEx has a history of, like, people stealing and things like that, but that was a mission for me. Like, you have to get your shit. Yeah. So I like that job. I'm helping people versus the jobs I had previous. It just felt like a burden. It was in a way. It was just too much. But while I'm at FedEx, before that, maybe 3 years before I started working at FedEx, I started wholesaling real estate. Was doing that. We're backtracking now. So I'm wholesaling real estate, and this is my first time ever getting, like, a 5-figure check. Or I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lit. I just told you I'm from Camden. I'm living with my aunt, so clearly there's a home situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm lit. I got a 5-figure check. I'm 21. I'm 21. I never seen that type of money. Blew it. So, she
got right to it. Blew
it. But then I realized that's when entrepreneurship, like, struck to me. I'm like, oh, you don't have to go to work. I don't have many entrepreneurs in my family. Now that I'm 30, I kind of think back about it. My grandma was kind of an entrepreneur. Like, she went to work and things like that, but she always had her own shit. And hearing stories about my family before, she always had her own shit. So I think that's where I get it from, honestly. Just being creative, wanting to do things your own way. That's just my personality. So I'm wholesaling. I still wholesale, by the way. And that's pretty basic. I'll break it down if you want to ask about it. But now I'm with my woman, you know, got the dog, got the house.
Shout out to the family at home. Shout out to the family at home.
And that's basically my life timeline. I'm happy doing things at home. I take joy in cleaning. I take joy in cooking. I take joy in knowing she ate today. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my life now.
Wow.
And then I get to work on t-shirts. Like I'm completely doing what makes me happy in all aspects of life.
You are scaring the fuck out of me about adulthood.
Yeah.
This is scary stuff here.
It's fun because you really don't have to ask for permission. And when you get to be like 30, and I'm not the oldest bitch in the world, but you realize certain things, and now I can analyze, my past and why certain things were happening the way they were happening, or why I behaved a certain way versus, oh, I did that because I was mad or I was sad or this person did that to me. When you get older, it's more of putting some glasses on your past to be who you are now.
How long do you think it took you to get to that mindset? Is it a switch that goes off? Is it a progressive just kind of series of
failed events?
Yeah, like how do you get there? Because that's the thing. Like, if you're willing to just put your head down and work at it, you'll see the progress. But it's kind of like, if I asked you every single thing that's wrong with you, it would be a table full of problems. You know what I'm saying? It's almost hard to even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? So like, for you, was that a switch? Was this an event that happened and you're like, it's go time? Or were you kind of like, you kind of over the years were like?
So, again, going back to my past, I've been in survival mode for a lot of years. And the desire to no longer survive and live, maybe it's progressive. It's progressive. Because I think I've always been aware of, I don't know what to call it, this entity I am, this vessel of what I believe in. I've always been aware of who I am or who I desire to be. It was more so when you get to a certain age, it's like, I need to stop playing. And I don't think it's really an age thing. I don't think it's an age thing. I just think it's an awareness thing. How tapped in are you to yourself? And as a Leo,
Oh, here we go with the zodiacs. Oh my God.
As a Leo, you know.
What does that mean? When's your birthday if you're a Leo?
August 20th.
God damn it. I don't know anything about. All I know is that I am an Aquarius.
Very emotional creatures.
Yeah.
Very emotional. But Leos, we kind of self-centered, but we're also very generous, giving. I'm very observant. Nothing's really going to move past me without me knowing. And I might not speak on a lot of shit, but I knew. I'm that person. I knew, and I think where I am now in life, as far as spirituality and regular life, I've learned how to ignore certain things. Like, that's not going to affect tomorrow. Why would I give that energy right now? So yeah, it's progressive, day to day.
I think people need to understand that.
Yeah.
Because I think not understanding that is where it gets discouraging.
Yeah, and then you have depression and anxiety and things like that going on. A book that helped me a lot with that is Power of Now. Of just recognizing right now is really all you got. You can't really change the past. Sure, you can kind of manipulate the future, but what's happening right now matters. Have goals, things like that. What's happening now is you building the habits to achieve that goal. So just focusing on right now.
I heard Joey Badass say one time, where you are right now is a manifestation of all your past thoughts. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that shit makes you look in the mirror like.
Yeah, I fully believe that.
You feel me? Like.
I fully believe that.
Yeah. Shit got you moving different. You know what I'm saying? For so I feel you. I feel. Never mind. It's just gonna be a rabbit hole of
feeling
therapy.
You were speaking on the real estate, the wholesale. Touch a little bit more on that.
So wholesaling, again, being a middleman, it's that. It's strictly that. So you own a house. You're an investor. I'm a wholesaler. You own this house. Let's say it's beat up, I'm going to say, hey, listen, I'll buy it to you for 10. Buy it from you for 10. I'm using $10 for number 6. I'll buy it from you for 10. And this is done with different tactics. I've left tactics alone. I'm more so trying to get to know the people I'm working with because I think that makes my job better. That was a tangent. You own a house for 10. You have a house for 10,000. I know that it's worth 12 to an investor. He'll buy it for 12. You say, listen, I'll buy it for 15, right? I have it under contract with you for 10. You want to buy it for 15, clearly over 12. I'm pocketing 5. I'm just getting what's in the middle. Again, that's building relationships, putting people together. My job is to find people like you who needs help. People that are behind on their taxes, people that just got divorced, people who house damn near about to fall down, people that need to hurry up and, move out of state or whatever. My job is to find those people, see if I can help them with their house. And I have a phone book full of people that want to buy these type of houses because they know what to do with it. Once you fix it up, you got it for 15. It's now worth 50. You probably put, let's call it 10 grand into it. You're all in, 25? If you sell it, you have 25 bands. You just made 25 bands. Yeah.
You really look at the perspective of everybody getting what they want.
I have to.
Yeah.
That's actually on one of my cards. We all win.
Yeah. These cards, when did that start? Is that something that kind of just...
Cards?
Yeah, so you were talking about the cards. You had the success on one, and now you're talking about the... When did that kind of start? Is that something?
No, we all went on my business card, but...
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, you're good. Because it still has the same basis point. People say, life isn't fair, life isn't fair, life isn't fair. If you keep believing that, then sure, that your life is not going to be fair. Your life is going to always be fucked up. But I want to come in like Superman and at least fix this problem for you. Like, the stories sometimes that I hear from some of these sellers are, crazy. And the least I can do is help you with your house and get you as much money as possible. These days, not to say I don't care how much I don't make, because obviously there's strategy in it. But my thing is finding that problem and let's come up with a solution. Sometimes I can't even offer you cash for your house. What I can do is, because you need to move out of state in 72 hours, I can give you $5,000 down payment and keep your mortgage in place. And now I can put a tenant in here. I can function this property. It's still in your name, but we have an agreement. I'm responsible for fixing it. I'm responsible for that mortgage. You get to go on the plane. You got $5,000 in your pocket. You happy with that? Cool. I win. You win. Now, let's say I didn't want that deal. You're an investor, right? I put $5,000 cash into this lady's pockets. I go to an investor. Listen, I have this deal. I got the mortgage in place. It's $800 a month. It rents out at $2,000 a month. He's going to say, okay, he's either going to buy it from me fully if the deal makes sense, but he's going to say, let me put $20,000 down. I just pocketed 15 and got my 5 back.
Wow.
So it's just being creative. Every part of my life is just being creative. Find a solution. Everything can be figured out if you just take a step back, and really analyze what it is. Some people speak and I'm listening to what they're saying, but I'm clearly something went on today because you're coming with a certain energy. But I'm keeping that to myself. But I'm listening to them roar at the top of their lungs. That you're going through something, and I'm seeing that. I hear you, but I'm seeing that, and I'm saying to myself, if she just relax a little bit and really look at the situation, she might be able to find that hole to go through and clear this up. Yeah.
Is that patience? Is that a learned skill?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much.
You said that earlier, actually.
Yeah. I had to learn patience. I had to learn discipline. Very, very much so. I think people should spend time on that. And maybe that's another thing with age as well. When we're 20, we're ripping and running because we think we're running out of time, where it's really you're barely using the time you have constructively. So how 75 Hard is exposing that for me right now. You really have so much time in a day if you use it properly. Yeah.
I'm going to ask this question.
Don't kill me.
And my team members are going to be pissed off because I asked this to everybody.
All right.
But have you read The Alchemist?
Of course. I am an alchemist. That's what I'm speaking, alchemy. You know, that's my vernacular.
I only say that because when you were going to say the book that you were reading, I thought you were going to say The Alchemist because it also was in line with what you were saying. So when you didn't say that, I was like, I wonder if she read The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Fire.
All of those foundational books.
Yeah.
If you're a reader, you started with those.
What a banger.
Yeah.
What a banger. So in this journey, right, we see how it's manifested itself in your work environment, right, and in your work headspace. But you also are very particular about your health. Mm-hmm. And we all know that is a very hard discipline for most people. Mm-hmm. So where did the even desire to, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to desire that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think, not that I think, because I know, but I've always been, like, into my health, but ignored it. Maybe not until I was like 25. I'm lying because I lived up the street from Linda's. We going there, cheesesteak platter fries. I'm not thinking about health. That's $5. And I got leftovers. Like, stop playing. But when I first started getting like into my health, I think I was listening to like a podcast or something. And it was like, diseases don't run in your family. Y'all diet run in your family. The way y'all cook run in your family. And I was like, oh shit. And that was one of them things where, like, I can't unsee it because the thing in my family is diabetes. So in my head, I'll never say this to my family because it's like food brings us together. In a Black community, food is home. Right. You get what I'm saying? So, but when I heard that, I was like, I can't unhear it. I can't unhear it. So I've just always been progressively working on my health. Just that's another thing that's progressive is health. Because of course I fall off sometimes. Of course I want candy sometimes. I'm not like, you know, the best runner in the world, best bodybuilder, anything like that. But I am health conscious.
Full blown vegan?
Right now, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, right now, yeah.
How long has this been happening?
Since September 1st.
Yeah. Wow.
I've been pescatarian before. And it's like, I recognize that these things I wouldn't say they're not good for you because I'm not that person to be like, don't eat meat. Like, I will fuck up some chicken. Like, stop playing with me. Right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But yeah, it's working out good. Again, it's using your time throughout the day. Vegan is a lot of preparation work. In being vegan because I have to eat before I leave the house. I'm not really about to find anything that's not like a fried carb outdoors or without paying for a vegan meal that's like $20 and above. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of prep work in it. But it's cool. I like it. And I think I may continue even after 75 hard, but implement more like fish and things like that because I do miss fish.
Wow. Yeah. So what are you missing most about being vegan?
What am I missing most?
Yeah.
What do I miss most about being vegan? As far as meals or?
Just anything, like just things that if you were not a vegan, you would definitely be indulging in.
Like when I go out with my friends, this was hard during 75 hard.
Okay.
It's just being the one that's not eating. That's kind of hard because I don't want to claim like a food addiction. Like I'm trying to revert from those type of words. But my relationship with food wasn't good. It was like, see it, eat it, see it, eat it. Where now it's like, you don't even need it. You're not even hungry. You get what I'm saying? And doing this 75 hard, sometimes I even look at food that I did eat and be like, I don't even want it. Yeah.
I have a different relationship. I'm more conscious of my relationship with Chick-fil-A because I started like changing the way I was eating. Like, and it makes you realize all of the stuff that the food you were eating. Like when you go back to like eating Chipotle, like I used to love Chipotle. And now like I realize I cannot eat Chipotle. Like it bloats me so crazy. Like, and when you start eating right, you notice that kind of shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this I was doing this every time, like 4 days a week. Like, just you sick. Feel me? Like, strong, yo, it's no way. Strong. Like, insides is on fire. Like, shit is crazy, bro. Nah, I commend you on that 75 hard though. That's hard. Definitely sending you some encouragement and positivity to that.
Yeah, facts.
For sure.
It's hard though.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have the
It's
discipline.
hard. Like, I don't think I'm like laxed with it. That's just hard. But it exposes some things within you. It exposes that you're not undisciplined. You're just lazy sometimes. And, passive with certain things. You're passive with your health. You're passive with alcohol. I stopped drinking as well.
Fire.
Right.
Yeah. So it exposed those type of things. And I'm like, honestly, it's stressing me out that it's almost done. I'm not going to lie.
Why?
Because I'm wondering, like, am I going to be okay when the challenge is done? Like, do I have to keep doing this challenge to really take my health serious? That's low-key stressing me out a bit. But I think I'm going to keep going.
Can I send some encouragement for a second? One foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Like, finish this first. Don't focus on what's at hand. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got it. You're almost there. You got it.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, you put time into your health, but you also put time into, you said energy we talked about.
Yeah.
We use the sensitive word God. We use that sensitive word. What is the relationship? What is the spiritual relationship with God or energy or the universe or whatever you listeners call it?
So the word I use is God and also source. I call it source. There's definitely something more powerful controlling this shit as far as energy. That is what I believe. Whether it's a figure like Jesus, no, I don't believe that, because it's like, if this energy has always existed, why does it have to be in human form? Everything doesn't need to be explained. So to put a figure on it, I feel like there's people that believe in that, but I don't. I believe that there's something controlling all of this, and that I'm just an entity of that source being put in certain places, being able to pay for somebody's grocery who just found out that her, EBT card is empty at Walmart. Like, that's energy. It's no way to explain that. So I'm on that side of it. I'm connected to source, a.k.a. God.
The higher power.
Have you always been this way?
No, I come from a Christian family.
I was going to say, okay.
I come from a Christian family. What I adore about my family so much is that they let me be me. They're not trying to talk me out of things. But I'm not as vocal with the God thing because I respect their God. I'm always going to respect someone else's God. I have Muslim family. I respect her God. I'm not going to smoke around her. I'm not going to do certain things. With my Christian family, I'm not saying y'all praising a white Jesus, nothing like that. Like, that's disrespectful to steal the same energy that you believe in. So why hate on another person's? It's just energy. They happen to put a figure on it.
Why did you think that you were going to say something that was controversial?
Because people are emotional about the word God, man. Like, they let it affect them so much. And I get it. Like I said, I respect it. But they're emotional about it when, like you said, it's a word. It's a word to explain everything that's going on. Like, there's things I don't agree with in Christianity. There's things I don't agree with in Islam. There's things I don't agree with in Hinduism. And I'm not coming from just anywhere. I've literally tried each one. And I'm like, there's things in here I can't identify with, and there's things that I can identify with. So I take what I can get from each one.
I found that most religions share the commonality of, like, doing good.
Yeah.
Like, I try to simplify. Right. I try to simplify it to that because I am kind of sensitive to what I sometimes think is oblivion in the Christian religion and just, like, neglect of
action,
natural question. You know what I'm saying? So I then had to, like, dial that back, which is why, like, when I wanted you to talk about it was because, like, we had an episode early in our journey, and I was very passionate about him seeing my side, I'll say. I was very passionate about that because I was confident that what I was saying was common sense.
Yeah.
And I kind of had the approach of like, I want to make it as common sense to the point where like you acknowledge this. You feel what I'm saying? It was like
at least have another perspective.
Right. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, right. But then there's a fine line of doing that and then just kind of like pushing your agenda too much. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we then took the approach of having someone who was more versed in just religion in general come on the podcast and kind of talk about some of the, you know, stuff. I stumbled upon simplifying it to they all have the commonality of do good.
Yeah.
So then you can kind of just like
just do good.
Respect everybody. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's that simple. I don't think that was gonna be as controversial as you thought. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have anybody that's like really passionate on one side or something like that.
Some shit said where she like, I can't believe you feel like that about God. We didn't teach you that way. Yeah. I used to praise dance and shit. Like
you was involved in the church.
I was involved. Yeah, I was involved. So it's like, you know, voodoo to talk about who I am religiously. Yeah.
I definitely had to recite some verses before in front of the like. You start to realize like, why was I doing that? Like, why did y'all have me up there doing that?
Yeah.
Like, just to be able to remember the word. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're in conditioning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also coming from a little bit of a biased standpoint because I also grew up kind of like aggressively Christian, not aggressively, but like kind of aggressively Christianity. So there's also like a piece of me that, if I'm being completely objective, probably has a little bit of an emotional background bias to like.
So did you hold on to the thought of there's a heaven and hell? Do you still believe that part of Christianity? Like after.
In theory, yes. I don't think it's as black and white as heaven and hell. Yeah. I've been introduced to the idea that hell is specific to your life. Mm-hmm. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a place where it's like in a lobby and, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a fire. Like, so I've kind of entertained that because I do believe while I believe that everybody's relationship with God is different. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All rooted in similar things. Everybody's relationship with God is different, so therefore their relationship with heaven and hell can be very different and like specific to them. You feel me? So I kind of entertain that idea. I also kind of entertain reincarnation. Yeah, I kind of entertain a lot of afterlife things because who knows? Like you don't know. That's what I'm saying.
You never met a dead man.
I want to be objective. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, and that I think that's why, like I said, I wanted to push that agenda because it's like same thing with your aunt. It's like with my mom too. Like it's like certain conversations I'll just be like. I said one thing and now it opened a can of worms and it's like now you want me to explain myself. It's like I'm not trying to upset you. Like you feel what I'm saying? Don't worry, I'm not like a devil worshiper. Like you feel me? Like I'm still fine. You feel me? Like, bro. Yeah. So what do you believe in terms of afterlife?
Afterlife? Well, I want to be cremated, so I feel like
oh, okay, we'll talk about that after.
Afterlife again, for me, I think I'm like an energy. Like whether I'm here or not, you gonna feel me. Either I said something in the past, you know, I've made you feel a certain way that no one else has made you feel, or you know, I've made you think of something that you know, something I've said made you feel a way that felt good. So that's why I feel like as far as afterlife, I'm gonna always be around. Whether you see my kids doing something, oh, that's Rave. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's hard.
There's going to be a piece of you left behind.
Yeah.
Some swaggy shit. That's why I like when you tweet. You say some swaggy ass shit. Listen, man, you've been cuff daddies for a minute.
Yeah.
It has been locked down.
Yeah. 8 years.
8 years. Let's celebrate that, man. 8 years. Golly.
That's a good John.
If someone were to come to you and say, what is the secret? How do I last 8 years?
You got to want to do it. That is the secret. You want to or you don't. Pay attention to when you feel good and when you don't feel good. Like, obviously shit gets rough, but you just bring it back to yourself. Do I want this? Yeah. Like, it's very simple. And people be trying to complicate it. It don't have to be complicated. It don't have to be. It doesn't have to be complicated. Do I want this?
Okay. What does let's dive in a little bit. What does saying that you want it look like? So yeah, you gotta want it. Okay, cool. So how do you show that you want it?
How do you show that you want it?
Because that's when it's like, what are the behaviors? What's the work? What's the
yeah?
You know what I'm saying?
The work is paying attention to your person. Like, I'm not the best listener, but I heard you. I don't know how to explain it. Like, Sophia say to me, you know, random shit. I've been wanting chicken, rice, and string beans for a couple days. Like, just random conversation. Maybe 3 days later, she got chicken, rice, and string beans. I'll be like, remember you said you wanted this? She'd be like, no, I didn't even know I told you. I just been wanting it. You know what I'm saying? Just paying attention. Like, those things matter. Someone wants to feel important because they're going to tell you things they can't really tell other people. So you hold that sacred. You hold that sacred. Your person needs to feel like you want them. You know when you want something. If you want a pair of sneakers, you're doing everything you can to get them. Your person want to feel like that.
How can that be complicated? How can that sound easier said than done?
It can become complicated when the ego comes in. I cooked you chicken, rice, and gravy, but you bought Chick-fil-A. Now I'm fired up. Like, it's little things within it. So it can get complicated as far as, I think only emotions make it complicated, to be honest. Like, how deep down the rabbit hole are you going to go in your emotions to make yourself feel like I'm right, they're wrong, things like that. Like, you don't want to do that, because at the end of the day, you want to bring your person closer, and that just pushes them away.
Do you think that people, like, you know how people are like socially, like, just not with, like socially isolated?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of people, like, don't interact with society. Don't you kind of feel like they're lesser of a person? Like, I'm kind of like, you're missing, like, I think, let me rephrase that. I think they're missing a key component that a normal human should get. So therefore, you will be lesser in experience and lesser in emotional involvement and lesser in social decisions and lesser in political, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of life is now capped.
Yeah, I mean, me and Taylor,
you feel what I'm saying?
About it. Like,
that's what I meant.
I
that
won't
came
say
out
who, but it's just like you need human interaction. Period.
Right.
Like, when you're, and I won't say who, but like me and Taylor were talking about is just younger kids. I feel like it's more kids that are below our generation. They're just tied into a screen so much. Like, a family member's friend or whoever I was trying to talk to is a kid, probably was like 14, 15, and he just couldn't hold a conversation. Like, he didn't know how, and I don't know. Like, if it's because they're always tapped into a screen or whatever's going on, I just feel like people need to learn how to talk to people and just be in the presence of somebody. You can't talk to somebody through a screen forever. Like, I don't know.
It reduces the quality of human life.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think it reduces the quality of human life. How did we get here?
I think you said...
Do you feel similarly?
Yeah, of course you need it. Of course you need it. But, we don't know what people doing at home. Like, that same kid might be in a tech job. He doesn't really have to interact with anybody. That could just be his personality type, and he, went into a field where he doesn't really need people around. He just good at what the fuck he does. I feel like we all have our place.
Yeah. I think I'm empathetic to those people. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
I think I'm empathetic to that because you are missing, like,
exactly.
some beautiful shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Like, you're missing mad beautiful shit.
There's another phase or part of life that you're missing out on. That's why, I mean, I get if you're very good at something, okay, so for instance, tech, that's fine. But I still think there's a whole, that kid is going to grow up and not have a wife, maybe children, because he doesn't know how to interact with a woman because he's been sitting in front of a computer screen the entire time. Like, that's just what I'm talking about. It's parts of life that, like, you might miss out on. I do agree. Like, if you're good at something,
that could be his finale. But what if he finds a girl that's just like him, and it just blends? It just works.
How do you find that person? Not even
right. I mean, it's possible, obviously.
Yeah, it's possible, but I guess it comes down to that's their business, honestly, because it's like, it's like, you know, you can get out in public, but you've had people that, you know, have been doing this day-to-day thing like we do, go to work, interact, this, and that just became hell for them. Now they living off grid in a jungle, eating fruits and water and berries.
Yeah.
Though no human interaction, but it's like I had that already. It doesn't fit me. It doesn't go with who I want to be. So I feel like it's two sides. It's two sides.
Indeed. He should still get out and talk to people, though.
Yeah. I'm just a social person, I guess. So it's just like, you know.
I flip-flop. Like, when I go places with Sophia, like, I'll be so grateful she there because she'll do all the talking sometimes. And I'm just like, thank you, because I just did not feel like interacting that day.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why don't you like interacting?
Because I can't always have conversations like this. I can't really talk about God and things like that because I don't agree with most people God's. Or, you know, I can't talk about the football game because I don't even know. I think I asked somebody who was Andy Reid, the quarter of the coach of the Eagles, and I got laughed at. And I'm just like, wow. Am I supposed to know these things? Like, why do I need to know that?
Yeah, if you're not interested,
you should know it's not Andy Reid. You don't gotta know who.
No, they told me, but
you should know it's not.
I was
Andy
like, why did I get laughed at as if that was a crazy question?
There's an expectation.
So when I withdraw sometimes from certain, you know, tables and things like that, it's only because I'm just not vibing, and I'm not carrying a certain energy. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't got the grizzly on. It's more so, you know, I'm still interacting. I'm just not really giving much of an input because I've already read that this table is not going to hear me.
Can I ask you a question? And I want to find out how you would have felt about this. So I went to dinner last night, right? And we went out in New Hope, so it's a pretty like cool. So just like very progressive, hippie kind of place. You know what I'm saying? Everything is cool and, you know, whatever. And we wanted a table outside. So I don't know if you saw my story. We wanted that table so you could eat indoors or you could eat. But we had an 8:30 reservation that they kind of weren't honoring. And they didn't honor it, but it was like you could tell that it didn't like hold water. Yeah. Like when I called and did it. You feel what I'm saying? Because like they was like, well, we got this table we could give you, but it's like if I have a reservation, you should have a table for me. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we was on time and everything, like early. So we wanted this table outside. So eventually what happened was you had a table outside, but you got to have a $75 minimum. So it was like, all right, I kind of was expecting to spend, you know, over $100. I was like, that's fine. You feel me? So we sit down. A lady comes out. We got to wait, whatever. A different lady who's like a seemingly some managerial position comes out. And she says, is everything okay? Like, I was like, yeah, everything's cool. So she takes the bill or takes my card. Comes back. Oh, you're paying. Okay. I was paying, right. Takes my card, comes back. Now, mind you, when she took the card the first time, I asked her, I said, did we spend the $75? Because in my head, I really did. I'm bad with numbers, but I know my shit was like 30 some. I know her shit was like 20 some. I know we had some drinks. You said what?
You didn't get the check first?
Right. So she gave me the check. And what she did was when I asked her, did I make the minimum? She was like, yeah, you made it. Like, you cleared it, right? So I was like, all right, cool. And it was like kind of like lighthearted, like how I was asking. I was like, did we spend the 75? Like, she was like, yeah, whatever. Get this shit, right? I put the card in the thing. And then she she's like, is this okay? And I'm looking at the order, right? And she's pointing to the number. And she's like, no, is this okay? And I was like, why would you ask me that?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Did you add shit to my bill to get it to...
But even so, right? Even if you're saying you were just asking to make sure that everything was okay, you make sure everything was okay by looking at the order, which is where I was looking.
Yeah.
You don't look at the number and say, you look at the order and make sure the order is right, and then you feel what I'm saying, boom, boom, boom.
She's trying to check you if you could afford it.
Type shit.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Yeah.
Is that what I think just happened? You feel me? Like,
yeah, that's definitely what just happened.
Yeah, because I already made it clear I knew about the $75 minimum.
Yeah.
So clearly money shouldn't have been like something that you thought I was lacking. And if I knew from the rip I had to pay at least $75 to sit here. And I asked you, did I make it?
And you had a haircut.
I did look dapper, yes.
So why she questioning you?
Type shit, I had a button up on it, everything. Like,
Yeah, like,
I
don't
listen.
Like, what do you mean?
This is how me and Bree decipher what kind of night we're having. Is if I'm wearing Chelsea boots.
Oh shit.
That's the deciphering thing. It's like, do I gotta wear Chelsea boots? She's like, yeah. It's like, okay, it's one of those. Or it's like, if it's not Chelsea boots, then I can wear, okay, I can wear New Balances. I can wear, you know what I'm saying? This was a Chelsea boot fucking night.
This was a Chelsea boot night.
It was fucking fire next to us. It was
you
nice.
Ironed your pants.
You feel me, bro? Like, what?
Ironed your fucking pants.
Shit next to us. I had
Chelsea
You
boots
ironed. Yeah.
You feel, come on, son. You would feel some kind of way, bro.
Yeah.
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 Fucking.
Bro, it'd
I'd
be
have
so
felt some type of
awkward
way.
in moments like that. Like, you don't even know what to say. You be, did you really just ask me that?
Yo.
Yeah.
And I'm kind
They
of
walk
moving
away
like
and
while
do
it's
the ass
happening. So I'm
breathe
kind of
like,
just
what?
like,
Yeah.
you feel me? I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not what she
Like, why
meant.
would you
That's,
ask me that?
yeah,
Just
that's
do
not what
that.
she meant. It probably was, but
Yeah.
you know, it comes with a thing. So, are you the person who pays?
We do our thing.
Okay.
I'll pay. She pay.
Okay.
We might play rock paper scissors shoot at the table. That type of thing.
I've actually done that a few
I'm
times.
ready to hit Jess with that on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that when we do that, I am really trying to win.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
it's not cute. Like, it's
Yeah.
like if you chose this option,
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat you. I don't want to pay for this food. You feel me? That's
we don't
fine.
ha- we don't have like rules. Is that what you meant by do you
Type
pay?
shit.
Yeah, we don't.
I
Have
kind of wanted to
rules.
get the dynamic of the standard. Like, what's the standard and what should be done and what should be taken care of. And I say that because you're very nurturing of a person. I think like you like to take care of your people.
I do.
And like I think like obviously that can bear like a lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what I mean. So just trying to get an idea of the
As
standard.
far as I wouldn't use roles. We don't have roles like you cook. This. It's not that monotonous. Being as though I have more time, like she's a full-time student, Anna works full-time, I just make sure the little shit is taken care of. There's no way she shouldn't have a uniform. There's no way she's leaving this house hungry. I have time to cook, you know?
That's a banger.
Yeah, so, and I don't take it personal, like it has yet to bother me that I do most of the housework. What's crazy is I want to be the housewife. Like, I
do not see that for you. That's
yeah,
crazy.
obviously I'm gonna be working, but I need to be working from home. I need to have that fluidity of being there for my child when you need me. Auntie's not picking up my kid from school. I'm picking up my kid from school. Like, yeah.
Is there any room for Resilient Prince to be the thing that is running so that you can?
Yeah, especially when I start delegating. Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty intentional about how I set things up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like being as though I am the one with the time, I can control the dynamic of how things work inside the house as far as and not control like this is my house. Dinner is not getting cooked every night. I'm cooking Monday and you're going to eat this for 3 days. That's it. I'm not
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I have other shit to do. So I'm going to designate a day to make sure I have food prepped. You have food prepped. The dog, he gets fed pretty easily. I just make it run smoother. Laundry is done this day, that day. You know, sometimes she'll pick them up and fold them. It's never a role thing. It's just, these are small little things that need to be done. Clean the kitchen, sweep. Who's not thinking of that? Oh, I'm not picking up that piece of paper because I cleaned yesterday and she need to pick that piece of paper up.
Right.
It's weird when you know you want a clean house.
I would agree. It's about what's going to make shit work the best for us. Like, what's going to make us move like a well-oiled machine. So,
Yeah. Because imagine if she had to stress out as far as she works overnight, school, and then she got to come home and cook dinner too. Yeah. Like, granted, she's fully capable of doing it, but why would I let her when I was home for 6 hours? Yeah. And I know she got to eat when she come home. Why wouldn't I cook? And if I didn't cook dinner on me, just like yesterday, I'm like, I don't got it today.
You'll take care of it, though.
Yeah, it's going to get taken care of. Yeah.
So what are you seeing now in relationships that are standards that are unrealistic or unhealthy or
Everyone wants to be ideal. I let idealism go a long time ago. Oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. No, I'm doing what feels good and I'm doing what flows naturally. I'm not doing it because I should be doing it. Why would I do that if I know I don't want to do it? So I think that's what's happening, especially with like social media influence. My man should be paying for my nails, my toes, my this, my that. Yeah, it'll be cool, but you ain't picked that nigga to do that. You have people that want to do that. Find that man. Find that man. But also what might come for that position is you got to do shit too. This ain't no free ride. So if you want a certain type of thing out of your partner, you have to carry yourself as such. Period.
So you think it's fine as long as the expectation is there?
Is
The expectation is set and like
It's communicated. If y'all come in the beginning of this shit and it's like, listen, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Can you handle that? Yeah. All right. Well, this is what I want. Can you handle that? Yeah. It can't get 2 months, 3 months down the line and you like, I'm doing this or I'm paying for your nails and this and that. And you agree, maybe you take me out to dinner once a month or some shit. And you ain't take me out in all 3 months. Like, all right, well, now this shit is a wrap. I mean, if you say some shit and y'all communicate, this is how it's going to be done, then that should just be it. Like,
as a woman, if you know you like going on dates and shit like that, you're not going to pick a man that
doesn't want to
isn't taking you on dates.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He don't want to go on a date. You knew that when you know, when y'all got together. So if you let time progress, he'll get better or she'll get better, because I don't want to seem sexist. Sure, you could wait for that because people do change. But again, do you want this or do you not?
But at the same time, for the same, like on the same aspect, for those niggas who do, like, it's a lot of females who do communicate that, and then it's not done on the back end. So like I said, if it's gonna be communicated, just make sure you do it.
Yeah. And I mean, your person kind of carries themselves a certain way too. Like I'm not gonna be able to get away with certain shit with my woman. She bougie.
Ah, really?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of maintenance on your hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as far as getting her nails done, things like that. Like, she's into it, but she's in nursing school, so she can't do those type of things. But she needs to be courted. My woman likes flowers, things like that. You just pay attention to your person. Like, I couldn't be that person that doesn't get my woman flowers. I be seeing like the Twitter debates, and I'm like, wow, okay, if you want to deal with that, you won't hear bitching, but you allowing yourself to deal with that.
Yeah.
Date someone that knows you like flowers. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I love how you simplify everything to it.
Andy.
You simplify everything. You like the cool auntie that like knows the right thing to say. You feel me? Yeah. So tell us, what's next? What is something that we can look out for? What's something that you got in the works?
So what's next for me is I'm trying to like build out now. Like, I want a warehouse, I'm working on the projects that I really desire, as far as having my own co-working space, whereas though I can then build like a curriculum around just artistry and things like that. So yeah, I'm just doing that foundational work, getting resilient prints, more so working on the business than in it as much. Just doing the foundation shit. The foundation shit to really get me where I feel like I deserve to be.
Wow. Beautifully said, man.
Indeed.
Beautifully said. Listen, man, I think it's about that time.
It's the game.
Man, Rave, we want to thank you for a beautiful episode.
For sure.
Dropping gems, giving us good habits, giving us objective thought. We appreciate you. We wish you luck. We wish you encouragement on your 75 days.
Yeah, that's fact.
What day are you on yet? What day are you on?
I think I said I had 6 days? 11 days. Yeah, I started on September 1st. Okay. At this point, it's habit. Like, I don't even know which day.
Where we're just doing. Yeah, that's good though. That's probably a good place to be. That's probably a good place.
I know I end on the 14th.
That's fine.
And today is the 6th. So I have 8 days left. There you go.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Bang it out. Crazy. You got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Listen, man, one time for your host. My name is Steven. I go by Ugly Steven on Instagram.
Ivan, iRobinson03 _ all platforms.
Ivan.
And behind the scenes, we have Vintage Sense 2 _, and we have OG _Bs _ Rave, please plug yourself.
Resilient Prints on Instagram. RIZILLION Prints.
Indeed. Till next time, y'all.
It's the game.
This Side of Jersey podcast.